Hi, I'm Fernando Pereira from UFMG, and today we continue to talk about range analysis. This time, we shall see how it works on an example. Later on, we will dive into the details of the analysis. Our example is this program in Python, which we saw in the last class. Let's find the ranges of all the variables. We can see that the variable k is initialized with 0 and it increases until its value reaches 100. There is no other operation applied onto k, so we can conclude that k ranges from 0 to 100. Can you guess the range of variable j? You can stop the video and try to figure it out. The variable j receives k, and it's being decreased until it reaches the value of I, which is another variable. So in this program, j is always larger than I, at least inside the innermost loop. We let this range go from I to k. Notice that the range in this case is symbolic. Symbols are like the names of variables in the program. We will have to find a way to replace the symbols with constants, because our lattice accepts only integer ranges. But if the outer loop is only executed when k is less than 100, j will be at most 99. This observation let us put a cap on the upper range of j. The lower range is still symbolic. Before we try to solve it, we need to find the ranges of I then. Can you try to find what's the range of variable I? The variable I starts with 0, and it increases until it reaches the value of j. So its lower range is 0, and the upper range is j. But we have a bit of a problem here. The ranges of I and j depend on each other. So we need to keep these symbols a bit longer, because we cannot solve them immediately. This use of a variable before we know its range is called a future value. So we have two futures here, a future associated with j and another with I. We call the symbols futures because we hope to learn their ranges eventually in the future. So a future is like a promise. If we can find a range for the variable, then we replace it. These cyclic futures involving j and I are a bit of a chicken-egg problem here. To find the range of I, we need the range of j, and vice versa. Can you try to think about how we can solve this situation? This is actually the subject of the next class. We shall see how we can replace futures with actual ranges and many other tricks to solve range analysis. So there, you just feel free to write me with questions or comments.